Oh wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, and alongside me is the greatest co-host, whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
Emotionally wrecked.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm so happy.
And today, we're doing something a little special because it's usually each and every Thursday, me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation, but guess what? We're breaking down the last episode of The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 9. And now, everything's on the table. We can discuss everything from the whole entire season of The Last of Us Season 1 and Last of Us Part 1. So we're not going to get into any spoilers into what could be in Season 2 or what happens in Part 2. We're
Maybe a nod here or there. But nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. No major spoilers anywhere.
No.
You're not going to find them here, folks. We're going to talk about what the differences are from the game to the show and break down the episode as we go along. So, Kyle?
Yes?
This episode was only, 40-something minutes? So, a lot of people are walking in. How are you going to do this? How are you going to tell this tale in 43 minutes or less? So I want to know your thoughts walking in, and were they able to meet your expectations?
Walking in, I was worried because that did seem like a very low runtime.
Yeah.
For everything that they had to hit, and I didn't want it to feel rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Walking out, didn't feel rushed at all. I have 0 notes. I think they nailed it.
Yeah.
Bar none. They nailed not just the whole season, this episode in particular. The meaning, the power of the story, and the much argued about ending.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the most important parts, and the relationship between Joel and Ellie, they nailed it. So I have no notes. If they could do that in 40-something minutes, then all to them.
God
all
bless
power
him.
to him. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I think the internet judges way too fast and way too harshly on runtimes. They're like, oh, this is only this amount of runtime, that amount of runtime. Like, it's silliness. I get it. It's like the only thing that we have to gauge what to expect from an episode, but it's been shown time and time again, 8 times a matter of fact, that you can have an episode last hour 20 minutes, you can have an episode last 50 minutes, and the length is not the quality of the show. It's just how much that time has to tell that story, or if the story dictates that time. Because to me, I look at episode 8 with David, and I look at episode 1 with an hour 20 runtime and David with 50 and go, both of those episodes are excellent. Yeah. Like, they are phenomenal episodes. And nothing of that had to do with its runtime. Everything just felt right. So walk in, I'm like, yeah, that's a short runtime, but I'm confident that they're going to deliver. And deliver they did. Oh my goodness. So let's start breaking down this story beat by beat, man. Kyle. It's your job this time.
Spoiler alert, everybody. I'm going to try my best. There are a lot of tears happening while I was watching this episode.
Same.
So we finally got the thing that I was most anticipating from when we learned that the original voice actors would be in the show. Yeah. It starts off with Ashley Johnson, voice of Ellie from the games, running through the woods. Pregnant, running from...
Very pregnant.
Some might say 9 months to the dot.
Yeah.
Running from what we assume as an infected.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see anything. Running through the woods, gets to this open field with a tractor outside and a very familiar ranch house for those of us that's played part 2. A great nod there.
Yeah.
And this is, there's another nod later, but like the reason why I think they did that is because they were not sure if they were getting a season 2.
Right.
So they wanted to put all the love letters of these little things for future stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, she gets in the house. She runs upstairs. She barricades herself in the room, just hoping that the infected would go away. Whatever.
And her
Banging
water
on the door.
breaks.
Yeah, water breaks. The infected is at the door.
Yeah.
And it's banging on it. The infected knocks the door down. We get a runner type of infected, or a stalker maybe from the game. So
I
it's
think
maybe
this
in
thing's
between.
a runner.
Yeah, this thing's definitely for sure. And it's a scene from the trailers where I thought it was Tess as an infected because very similar looking actresses. And she jumps on top of Ashley Johnson, who is Anna, who plays Anna. And the struggle happens. Anna stabs the infected in the neck a couple times. And once the adrenaline is like somewhat lowering, even though it's like instantaneous afterwards.
Yeah.
She hears a baby crying, and she gave birth during that struggle. And we see a baby on the floor. And then we also notice that she got bit on her inner thigh from the infected. Cut to fireflies coming through or looking at the house, trying to get in, and everything's locked. Find a window that's broken, go upstairs, hear some singing, and they open the door, and then there's Anna singing to this little baby girl, who Anna tells Marlene, who we know from the first episode of the show, the one who started this whole journey for Joel and Tess and Ellie. They know each other. They've been friends for a very long time.
They've been childhood friends.
Yeah. And Anna tells Marlene, this is Ellie. I'm sorry, I missed a crucial part.
Yeah.
She walks in and Anna has a knife to her throat.
Yeah. She's prepared to end it.
She's preparing to end it. And
so let me stop you here.
This is this is only like a 5-minute scene. It's so emotional. There's a lot happening.
It is. So right now I'm watching it as we speak. We are 6 minutes in.
Yeah.
This is with the recap of her giving birth to Ellie, and this scene's powerful because she recognizes after she stabs the clicker in the neck that it bit her in the thigh. She's dead, and she sees the baby on the floor. The placenta's still there and everything, and she, without hesitation, cuts the cord. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have this moment of Ellie holding Ellie because Anna is again the voice.
Whew. Yeah, when she finally said what the baby's name was and said Ellie that's when the tears started. And I'm gonna cry right now just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Good.
Ellie is so important to us as a character, and just to PlayStation in general, and to see. Oh man, the woman who gave birth to her in the games, kind of passing the torch to Bella.
Yeah.
And even though that's not Bella, it's a baby, but like,
and I was
passing the proverbial torch is, man, it's powerful.
And there's a line that she says. I was trying to find it. That's why I was like looking off screen for it. She's like, your name's Ellie. You're gonna fucking take on the world. Something along those lines.
You're gonna change the world or something.
Yeah, you're gonna change the fucking world. She tosses a fucking there. I'm pretty sure because I was like you. I was having a popsicle.
Yeah,
if you must know,
as you do,
as I do.
Seems appropriate for a Last of Us watch.
You know what? Yeah, I thought, you know what, I needed something comfort, and I was like,
that's fair. What kind of popsicle? What are we talking about?
Watermelon.
But like, what's the brand? Are we doing like?
No idea.
Oh,
I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. And I'm just here sucking on this popsicle, seeing all this carnage and mayhem, because I know if I don't have this device here, I'm gonna lose it. And when she gets bit, my hand was shaking. My popsicle almost fell out of my hand. Typical bad bit maneuver here. Typical middle-aged fat guy over here, just waving his popsicle in the air, trying not to have a breakdown. Yeah. And yeah, so like this meant a lot to me, all jokes aside.
Same.
Because like Ellie is my favorite fictional character.
And this is something that was not in the games.
Yeah.
We don't know Anna. We've heard of Anna.
Exactly.
We've never seen her in the games. We don't know how Ellie got immune. And seemingly she is immune because of the cutting of the cord with the same knife that was used to kill.
Well, no, it bit her while she was giving birth. That's how I got it.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. So it was just like, bam, it kind of bit her right in time for her to cut the cord. So when Marlene asks, it bit me before.
Yes.
After.
I cut the cord before.
Yeah, after or whatever. She like reassured her that like, I gave birth before after this thing bit me or something like that along those lines. So that Marlene wouldn't kill her child. Immediately you have this love, this thing that's constantly tossed out. Is it inherently good or is it inherently bad? And it shows you, man, like your whole world's ending. You just got bit. But the love of your child, this moment is going to be one of your last, and it's already, the bite, your impending doom cannot take away from the fact that you love this thing more than anything, and you would do whatever you can to protect it. And I really loved that here, even with Marlene kind of buying it, but not really buying it.
Well, yeah, the Anna and Ellie love obviously mirrors the ending of the show.
Yeah.
But also the Anna and Marlene love and friendship mirrors the end of the show, especially because Anna's like, Marlene, please kill me. Take Ellie, raise her so she can do a lot of good. And Marlene straight up says, no, I can't. And then takes Ellie, gives it to one of the other Fireflies, takes a second and goes in and kills Anna.
Yeah. And there's no time, like it's, and that's the thing. It was just like she marched up and shot her because like, how would you kill your best friend? You have to.
I don't want to. Yeah.
I
don't want to stand there and do it and think about it. No.
Exactly. Like when I'm like holding your mouth and nose, Kyle, like, and you're struggling, you're like, I'm like,
yeah.
It has to be.
Thanks for giving me, a quick death, Joe.
Yeah, no.
Smuggling or smothering me with a pillow. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. There's
cool.
The pillow has holes. This cuts to...
Oh, it's a My Pillow. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Mike Lindell here, and I'm telling you, if you want to kill your best friend, you do My Pillow. Cut to the intro. Cut to Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
And
here, I want to just say something
Go for it.
Here from the start. This episode is extremely faithful to the game.
Very.
Which is why I struggled a little bit with the intro, trying to remember it because it was so emotional because it was new.
Yeah.
Still emotional throughout the rest, but
yes.
They are so extremely faithful to the game and the ending that I love so much.
Yes.
Minor tweaks here and there, but I think the emotional things still hit, and they were there, which is the most important thing.
There is no infected in the sewers or tunnel.
No infected in the sewers.
But other than that, this thing is kind of, you're right.
No firefight
shot
really leaving.
It is very much a faithful adaptation of this because they've already, again, 9 episodes in, y'all. I know there's some people, they're like, we really want to see infected. They showed you 1 clicker is deadly enough. You think Joel's going to take out 2 bloaters here? I don't think so.
And I think lessening the number of Raider run-ins and infected run-ins not only gives those moments more power, like we talked about, seeing a clicker is way more important in this universe, in the HBO universe. Same thing with Raiders, but also if you see Joel and Ellie just straight up killing dozens of people every single episode, it's not going to hold any weight.
I'm not
here to watch The Last of Us for action.
Right.
I'm here for the drama. I'm here to
For
be
the
emotionally
narrative,
connected
yeah.
to the characters, the narrative.
Yeah.
I don't need to see Joel take out these bloaters. It'd be cool, but like,
Because I have the game to do that, and I think
exactly.
that's what's awesome.
And I
Is
think that's what Craig was getting at before the show started as well.
exactly, it was just like, hey, listen, the thing that breaks up the story, or how video games break up the narrative, is through gameplay, and that's how you connect with these characters, and we're adapting that to TV. And so by having Joel be the Terminator, you're not going to believe every struggle he's in, because he's just taken out two bloaters. Why is he struggling with this one dude? So
Yeah.
you're going to buy it less if this is on cinema or film, than you doing it in the game, because it's your actions. You're intrinsically tied to these characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the way that they deviated here in terms of, showing you violence when they needed to. And the one thing that they wanted to show that was super important here was the beat of the giraffe, which I was super excited for.
Before we get to the draft, though,
Please, yeah.
little things that I appreciate so much
Tell me.
because from the first game, seeing just how not despondent, but not present Ellie is because of what happened with David.
Ooh,
Similar
yeah.
to the game of just like her still processing
Yeah.
what happened to her, the trauma is great. Bella, I mean, we've said it a million times, crushed it.
Yeah.
But the things of Joel being a complete 180 from the Joel that we know from the beginning of the show, where he's like trying to get Ellie to laugh and to smile and to joke and like
It's like the flip of the personalities here.
yeah.
Ellie is now the silent one. And Joel's the one that can't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
And like seeing that camper on the bridge, I know what's in that camper. It's
Yeah.
devastating.
yeah.
There's a whole family in there that
Yeah.
killed themselves in the game.
Ooh, wee.
And but like for seeing that camper and then Joel being like, hey, there was a broken guitar in there, and then bridging that into the games where like Joel wanting to teach Ellie guitar, being that fatherly figure, passing on a hobby to his now adoptive daughter. So they go to go in the Fedra, not the Fedra zone, the Army zone, right, with the tents or whatever. It's like this is the game. This is wow.
Now, can we talk about the giraffes?
No,
Okay.
because
Oh, there is one more thing.
is the giraffe after the tents? I forget.
Nope, it's before.
It's before the tents.
Yep. Because I'm watching it
Okay,
right now.
then we could talk about the
Giraffes. So here's the awesome thing about
and the boosting up for the ladder. Great
Yes.
for the game. Let's
So
go.
they're in this like abandoned building, and again, just like in the game, Joel's like, "Hey, there's a ladder here, Ellie, are you all right?" She's, "Oh yeah, ladder, right? Give you a boost." She finds the ladder, or gives her the boost, finds the ladder, and then she just drops out. I'm like, "Oh my god, Joel!" And you think something's happening, and he thinks something's happening, and he's climbing up the ladder. He's chasing her through this complex.
Seeing the shadows as well. Great touch in the show. I looked for him. It was awesome.
Great touch. And then it goes and you see a broken down wall exposed, and you see a giraffe just chilling out, chomping on some leaves, and
Yep.
Ellie's standing like 5 feet away from it, amazed, because she is seeing a giraffe like how we would be amazed seeing a giraffe 5 feet in front of us. And now here's the cool part, watching this show with your family, right, is that my mother loves giraffes. It's her favorite animal. So my mother seeing the giraffe scene and me not saying a lick about it, she lost it. She's like, "Oh my god, I pet a giraffe once. I fed it a carrot. Oh my god, they're feeding it leaves." It was awesome to see. That moment was probably the one I waited for the most. And if you're a Last of Us fan, you knew this scene had to be in here. And
Yeah.
I just want to say shout out to the CG team. 'Cause
Yeah.
that giraffe looked impressive as hell.
There were a couple of times where I was like, wait, It's probably CG in the wide shot, but close up, maybe they were interacting with the real giraffe.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm pretty sure that was all CG, and that's incredible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When it's a wide shot, even like the background.
Yes, you can tell that's just like a green screen or blue screen or whatever.
But like, man, oh man, they did a fantastic job here.
The way they did the lighting on the giraffe too, making like the light hitting it. Oh my god, great job.
And it echoes the quote from when they were back at Boston. So, was everything you hoped for? Has its ups and downs. Yeah. And that's where we get to the really important army scene, which if you'd like to talk about that one.
Sure. Let me just pull up the line of dialogue that I tweeted out that broke me for the second time.
Oh, there was a line of dialogue that broke you for a second time. Honestly, the Anna moment and the end. Anna moment got me. Like, I was watery-eyed.
Oh, yeah. So they're walking through, Ellie's asking, oh, is this Fedra? And Joel's like, no, this is Army. This is like before Fedra. And Joel being more open about it, talking about why he knows that this was Army is because he went for this thing, pointing to his injury and hearing loss. And Ellie goes, oh yeah, you missed, right? Or something. The other guy missed, or something like that. And Joel was very open about it, no longer being secretive. He goes, no, I was the other guy. And Joel basically admits that he was trying to kill himself on day 2. He lost Sarah the day before.
Yeah.
And on day 2, 20 years ago, decided that he couldn't do it. There was really nothing else to live for. And something happened. And he flinched. He doesn't know why. And that's why he missed. And that's why he ended up with the Army. And then Ellie goes, well, time heals all wounds. And this is the line that got me. It wasn't time that did it. And he looks at Ellie. Oh, boy. Basically just saying Ellie's the reason why he's a different Joel.
Or at least
that's why he's doing what he's doing. Joel. Yeah. He's got a purpose again.
She's his adopted daughter at this point.
Absolutely. And that line got me hard.
Yeah. Because she misinterprets it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like to her, it is like, oh yeah, and you'll get over this too. But like for him, it's like, no, you are my purpose.
You're the reason. Yeah.
This is it. Nothing else really matters. Mm-hmm. And it is what we've seen Joel do. He attaches himself to other people. So he probably went on for Tommy, and then he met Tess, and then hung on to Tess, and then when Tess died, he hung on to Ellie, right? Yep. And Ellie being Ellie, there's no way you don't get that paternal feeling.
No.
And no way you get that while having so many close calls after so many months, being just that on that person, So, that moment was. They've done a great job, and I think again, I keep on saying it, like they've done a better job fleshing out Joel here, his motivations than the games did. Yeah. I think that's the one thing that this show has done far and away better. Is showing his motivation, showing his fears, and showing what he is truly capable of.
And I think why this adaptation is so good, and why the game is so good, is because they don't straight up just tell you what the line means.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's for us to watch the performances, take in the words that they're saying, and then interpret what they mean instead of be like, it wasn't time that did it. It was you, Ellie. Like, right? Yeah. Like many other writers would have added that second line, like, oh, it was you, Ellie. And then it would have been cheesy, and that moment would not have hit as as hard.
Yeah, it makes the audience guess. It's like
exactly
the reason why you cry at certain scenes, those hard scenes, is because the character doesn't cry. If the character cries, then they're letting they're stealing that emotion from you. But chances are you're going to get that emotional bit because they're not portraying that sense.
And
of
it's
hurt.
so much easier for you to put yourselves in their shoes
Exactly.
without these silly, more oh my god, expedition type of not expedition, exposition
I got
type
it.
of lines of dialogue. Yeah. But yeah, after that line, they're walking away, and Joel, I think, asks for some jokes or something like that.
Ask for the pun book.
Yeah, he asked for the pun book, which is great.
Awesome.
And here's another change from the game.
Go for it.
Which I don't mind. Even though in the game, I think it's the one thing where it's more emotional. In the game, you're escaping through the sewers, and there's a moment where you fall into a rushing river.
Yeah.
And Ellie, of course, can't swim. So Joel is stuck in a bus and is about to go down the river, probably to drown. And Ellie jumps in to try to save Joel. And then Ellie is essentially drowning, and you're Joel trying to get her out of the water. And once you do, that is when the Fireflies find them. Mm-hmm. And then do the whole hit Joel with the gun. And then you wake up in the hospital.
The easy way or the hard way.
Yes. But in the show,
the easy way.
The patrol.
Back to the Future reference. I'm sorry.
I gotcha. The patrol sees them and throws a flashbang, and that's how they disorient them and take them in.
Crazy thing that just happened on my watch.
Oh, really?
Right now. Yeah, as I'm seeing it secondhand. Yeah, it just got dazed and confused.
Then we wake up in the hospital as Joel. Great shot of him getting his bearings, and you see the red Firefly logo out of focus, and then it gets into focus, meaning like those weren't Raiders, those were the Fireflies. Yep. They made it. And then we get some dialogue that I think is from the second game.
What's that?
About Ellie's condition and why it's so important. I don't remember if that's in the first game. I wonder if that's in the flashback in the second game.
I think it is in the second game, but it's also
with Marlene and the doctor.
Yes, it's also the note.
Yes.
That you pick up in the game that explains it all. But she does explain it in the game of this, like, but just not as in depth.
Not as in depth. Yeah.
Says it. Yeah.
Basically, Ellie's on the operating table. And
if we could, the thing that is the reason
I was
why
getting I was getting there.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Well, the reason why Ellie's not there with Joel, while Ellie's not there with Joel, is because she's already in the being prepped for surgery on the operating table, and Marlene tells Joel that the cordyceps is living inside her, and it's sending out a signal. Yep. That is telling the other cordyceps, the other infected, that she's one of them. So that is why that she's immune.
It's pretty much just it's sending out an error code.
Yeah, very much so.
And in order to get the sample, it's not in her blood. It's in her brain.
Which, if the way this show opens up, is explained by that old flashback on the talk show kind of thing about the cordyceps virus, which is... Brilliant.
Yep. And when she gives them the hard facts, she hands her Ellie's knife. And she's like, you don't get it. It's hard for me.
Which was Anna's knife. I forgot to mention that. Yep. That Anna's knife, as well as the jacket Ellie's been wearing the whole time, is Anna's.
Yep.
The green jacket that she was swaddled in when she was a baby. But yeah, Marlene hands the knife over to Joel. Says take him out to the highway. If he so much moves the wrong way, somewhat like that, shoot him. Joel gets up. They're walking down the stairs. He takes a moment to see what floor they're on.
Yes. And he plays it smart. He's like, I didn't tell you to stop.
Yeah. Where are we going?
He's like, where are we going?
Yep. And then they're going down the stairs. You see Joel kind of reluctantly going. And then at some point he just stops, and you can see the whole time Pedro is acting like he's really working through his options here.
Yeah.
He very much does not want Ellie to go through this because then she's dead.
And that's the
somebody else that another person that he loved, he's going to lose.
He's going to lose. He's going to lose his daughter again.
That's
the thing, here he said, they didn't give Ellie the choice. Right?
No,
They put
they
her
didn't
under
tell
and they're
her.
gonna
Hmm.
do it. And he's just like, you should give her the choice. And she's like, you know what her choice would be, Joel. Like, let's not be idiots about. You know what her choice would be. She would want to do this for the greater good, and you know that.
Yeah.
Now that's always been a flimsy argument to me because it's like, all right, then let her choose. So that's where my first argument for Joel's not technically the villain, because they never. Both sides are false in their argument. One says, "Stop everything, and I'll kill anybody that's in my way,"
Uh-huh.
for you to give her that choice, and the other one's just like, we're gonna assume she would like this, even though
Yeah.
humanity is on the line. They're choosing humanity,
And
which
I
harkens
think
back to
yeah.
Marlene saying she's not gonna kill Anna, and then walking right back and doing what had to be done and killing
Yeah.
your friend.
And I think Joel is also thinking back to the scene where Ellie goes, "Everyone I've ever loved has either died or left me,
Yep.
except for you." And what is he doing? He's walking out and he's leaving her.
Yep.
And so that whole interaction is probably playing in his head the whole time.
Yeah.
But at some point, he stops cold. He elbows the dude super hard. Man, I felt that hit. Takes the gun, shoots his partner, and then shoots the other guy. And he's like, "Where are they holding her?" And I don't even think he says. He just like,
He's like, I don't got time for this. Pop, pop.
yeah, pop. Takes
Office
the knife, takes his backpack back, and what happens in the next minute or so, Joe? I had goosebumps the entire time because I loved every second, and it was Joel being a cold-blooded killer, a villain, for lack of a better term, killing all these people for what some people might say a selfish reason. And the reason why I love this sequence so much is the way the score is being used.
Yes.
It is like a
Yes.
I thought of like the Darth Vader, like the
Hallway
Imperial
scene?
March music kind of thing, just in the background, but with The Last of Us like banjo and music we've heard all episode intertwined, where he's a man on a mission. No one's gonna stop him, and just killing so many people. And another really great thing, whoever directed this episode, making the choice for us to see the face of everybody that he is killing.
Yeah.
Because we don't really get that. It all cuts away after they kill people in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like when you think of Sam, right?
You're seeing people surrender in front of him and him killing
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
You're seeing him shoot someone.
The conscious choice of putting a face to the person that he just killed.
Yeah.
Gives that whole sequence more weight.
So when Joel jacks the M14 from the guy and he's just mowing through this hospital, there's one guy that surrenders and he just pops him. And then there's another guy he wounds, notices he's run out of ammo himself, and then just takes Ellie's knife, flicks it open, stabs him. And then he now has this M16 that he's now going through the hallways just eviscerating everyone. And panning to the faces and just the carnage that's being left behind as Joel picks up the Colt 45.
And all you hear is that music. Like you hear distant gunshots. Because he is like running on rails.
Yeah.
He's like, it's probably like an otherworldly out of body experience.
Yep.
The things that he's doing are they're not sinking in.
It's robotic. While at the same time robotic, it's like animalistic. Like it is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's mayhem. And it's what you would do for your daughter.
1000%.
Right? Like if your girls were in a room and they're being trapped.
This is why I argue all the time with people who say,
machine.
How dare Joel do what he did at the end? Because there's no way I could live without that.
And let's talk about what he does. So
he goes to the operating room.
Yeah, go for it.
He sees Ellie all hooked up, and he stands there kind of in shock. Yeah. And he tells him to unhook her, and the doctor's like, I can't let you do this, and picks up the scalpel. Joel immediately shoots him in the head.
Yep.
and then turns from the nurses. Shout out to Laura Bailey, who is one of the nurses.
Yep, she's another little behind.
Another little wink to part 2. Again, wasn't sure there was a season 2, so yeah, put her in. And the nurses unhook her. He tells them to bandage her up where the IV was in. And then he just picks Ellie up. Very father-like. And does the long walk to the elevator to get out of here. Another small change. You're not running for your life with the Fireflies coming after you from like the game, which is fine because I think he killed everyone in that building in the show.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody left except for the nurses. He left the nurses alive. Go to the elevator. Elevator opens. They're in a parking garage. Sees a van or a truck of some kind.
Dodge Durango. That's how you know that the apocalypse happened in 2003.
Yeah, Dodge Durango's lights are on as he's walking towards it. Marlene comes out from behind a concrete column. Yep. Tells him to stop. And basically, is trying to get him to reconsider.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still do what's right. And game did this, show did it, and I still love it every single time. I've beaten the game millions of times. It cuts to Joel driving, and it looks very upset, and you don't know what happened. Is Ellie still with him? Did he change his mind? And then all you hear in the back seat is somebody waking up, and it's Ellie. And then it flashes back to what happened in the parking garage. Joel shot Marlene.
Yep.
And Marlene's like, please don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't
still
kill me.
The right thing.
We can still do the right thing. And Joel looks at her, and I would have said the same thing. You'll just keep coming for her, and kills her. Man, I got chills saying that because it's so good. Yeah. And then they're back in the Durango, and Ellie's asking what happened. And here's where Joel just lies. Yeah,
word
shot for shot.
Goddamn word.
Just lies to Ellie about what happened. There's dozens of people like you, Ellie. They were doing some tests, and they just can't make it work.
Yep.
So,
shucks.
As we were leaving, there were raiders, and so we had to get out of there quickly.
That's new.
That's new. And then she asks about Marlene, and without saying anything, tells her that Marlene is not okay. Yeah. Ellie turns over, goes to sleep, and then Joel says, "I'm sorry." Yeah. Cry counter number 4 at this point. When he says, "I'm sorry," which I don't know if you can see.
It's also like a sorry to the audience. I'm sorry I couldn't be your hero.
I don't know if I'm in frame on the video version, but do you see those 2 pictures up there, drawings above my finger? Yeah. That's of Ellie and Joel.
Damn.
One, Ellie says, "I'm not immune to loneliness," and the other one under Joel says, "I lied." And I've had those for years because of this moment.
Yeah.
This next scene of them going back to Jackson, and Joel's talking about, "Oh yeah, I used to go hiking with Sarah all the time. You would have loved Sarah. You're funny. Sarah had a great smile. Not that you didn't have a great smile as well, Ellie. Yeah. Like trying really hard not to screw anything up."
Yeah.
And then they get to the top. You see Jackson down in the distance, and Ellie basically
stops them, and she's just like,
"Stop!" It's like, remember when you asked me if that was the first person I killed? Well, no. And then tells the story of what happened with Riley.
Yeah,
where they wanted to lose their minds and be all poetic with each other, except Riley did lose her mind, and I had to kill her. Yep. And then we lost Tess, and then we lost Sam, and then she basically just stops and basically saying, "Is what you told me about the Fireflies true?"
Yeah.
And Joel again lies to her.
Swear.
Yeah, swear to me.
Swear to me.
I swear. And then, oh my God, I'm so happy they fucking did this show.
Yep.
That goes back to Ellie. She's processing, and then she goes,
"I swear."
Okay. Cut to black. Oh my God. Tears again.
Yep.
I love how they kept that ending, because if you haven't played the game, that is how the game ends. It cuts immediately there. Oh, what a damn show. What a damn story, Joe.
Some would say it's one of the best.
One of the best. No notes.
No notes.
Wild.
Okay.
Absolutely wild.
Now let's talk about Joel's choice.
Yeah.
Welcome to the discussion, TV folks, viewers, listeners.
Yeah, welcome to the discourse.
Welcome to the discourse we've been having for 9 years now.
Yep.
Going on 10 in a few months.
Mm-hmm.
Was Joel the bad guy? Now, in my household,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think it was overwhelming? Do you think it was a close call? Is Joel the villain or Joel the bad guy? Who do you think the household has declared the baddie?
I think your parents say he's the good guy. I think your brother said he's the bad guy.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, everybody. My brother and his wife say, yeah, no, he's an idiot. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's completely obvious he is a bad guy. He did bad.
Yeah.
It's humanity. He fucked over humanity. My parents, again, we all watched this together as a collective unit.
Uh-huh.
I go, so, what do you think? Joel's the bad guy, right? My mother, who has crosses in every doorway you can see in this household. No, he's not the bad guy. Why would you think he's the bad guy? Well,
Yep.
the world's already over. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how long it took to get a vaccine here? You think they're going to get a vaccine there? No,
Yeah.
he did the right thing. I'd do that for you. You wouldn't want me to do that for you? No.
Which is why I said that. Yeah. Oh no, I don't know about Papa Bad Bit though.
My father?
Yeah.
Very much so. World's already fucked. Who gives a shit? Yeah. He's not a bad guy. Why the fuck do you think he's a bad guy? Not a bad guy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
That's my dad. So yeah, no, parents. Joel is did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Then brother, I and Robin. No, he is. He's a baddie. Now though, I am though at the end of the day kind of in the middle. So this is
Fair.
a split household.
Okay.
We because like I could see the way I see it, like I could see why he did it, and like I could see all the rationale, but at the end of the day, he still did a really bad thing. But also at the end of the day, just the way this world works, it's not repaired because the vaccine's there or available, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna have Karens, marching on a Capitol either way. You know, so it's like it's no matter what. I think humanity.
Not to mention how are they going to get it
distribute
across the oceans?
Yeah,
Like, sure, they could drive a ship over there, but like,
all of it is going to
how?
take decades upon decades. Yeah, it's
How do you find everyone that is still alive?
But I think that's the thing. It's just like in a broad scheme of things, it's like, yeah, sure, he's the villain, but on the personal level, you could 110% understand why he did the thing he did. And I think the cardinal sin of the Fireflies is not giving her the original choice.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes his choice more nebulous. Because
Yes.
now you get all these rationales of why or why not. And I think that's what makes The Last of Us so good, is that everything is imperfect. And there is no solid good or solid bad.
I would argue Sam is solid good the whole way through.
Yeah. And I would argue Dave's a piece of shit through and
Oh,
through.
1000%.
But that said, it's just like, yeah, you can understand these people's rationales for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's what makes The Last of Us so damn powerful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no,
I'm with you on that, where I can see the other side, but I have always been on the side he is not the bad guy. I
Joel
think
is not the bad guy.
Joel is not the bad guy.
Ooh.
I can see it from the other side. I always can, like, yeah, I get it. He's being selfish.
Sure.
He's choosing the one over everybody else.
Sure.
And I think I love that your parents are also like, yeah, he's a good guy. because it goes into my own understanding and maybe you will change, and how I think other people I've seen changed since they've had a little one in their household
Mm,
or a little one in their family that they love with all their heart.
sure.
Like, I would do anything for my nieces and nephew. Anything.
Right.
I don't care. They're mine.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think if they did give Ellie the choice in the game,
So if you had to smother me with a My Pillow, you would do it?
if it meant for the benefit of the world, absolutely.
But for your kids?
For my kid? What do you mean?
Yeah, for your
Wait,
nieces
I'm
and
smothering
nephews.
you
Yeah.
for the life of my nieces and nephews?
Yeah, for Lil Owen.
Oh, Joe? Absolutely.
You gave the My Pillow now.
Absolutely.
Mike Lindell here. You're going to want to get the broadside over the face.
But yeah, if they gave Ellie that choice in the game, and Joel still did all that, there's no doubt in my mind Joel is a bad guy. He's going.
Okay.
I can still understand him wanting to do what he did, but he's still a bad person because Ellie gave that choice. Since she didn't give that choice, I'm all for Joel is the good guy here.
Street justice.
He's protecting who he loves, and he has gone through so much heartbreak already that everyone else also went through heartbreak, but we are in the shoes of Joel.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I would have done the same thing.
Wow. Wowee.
Mm-hmm.
If I was Joel, I mean, just let me say goodbye. Jesus. I do think I think I am Marlene in that situation of like, greater good. This really hurts. And I think it's easier for her, especially for the Ellie situation, because she doesn't have to get her hands dirty. But I think I'm with Marlene here more than Joel, which is interesting. Look at, we're split. Ooh-wee. And now, with there being a season 2 along the horizon, it's being written as we speak.
Oh, man.
Man, what a show. Over and under, Kyle. This season, how has it treated you? Is this the best season of a thing ever made? Where do you fall?
Best season of anything ever made.
I mean, where Watchmen.
I think with my, still need to watch The Watchmen. I haven't watched it yet. I think with my attachment to the show and these characters, it is one of the best things I've ever watched. I think it's one of the best stories, period. Game, show, doesn't matter. I think it's one of the best stories. I just think they absolutely nailed it. There was not one dip in my attention level throughout the season. Yeah. Even though I knew what was happening, I was still gripped to my TV. With some amazing surprises. I think the Frank and Bill episode is incredible that we got that in this season and still hit every emotional thing that the story gave us. I think it's perfect. It wasn't nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It was everything.
I think the Anna Ellie room says everything about this show, because when you look at the window, it is, if not the same, it is the window that starts the game. It starts it all. And the attention to detail, the love that this show had for the game while telling its own version of the story, and taking brave and different choices while telling it, incredible. This is one of my favorite first seasons of a show, and I didn't think that could be possible. I maybe even didn't want it to be possible. I was so skeptical walking in that I was like, guys, I love The Last of Us, but I was on record going, it's no Breaking Bad. But the first season of Breaking Bad is pretty damn slow. The Watchmen to me is still the greatest season of a, or limited series of a property. Just, it's fantastic. But this is really up there. This is absolutely stellar through and through. Even if this was the only thing we were getting, um, just incredible. Just incredible.
It's funny you say that, Joe.
Yeah, tell me.
It's extremely funny you say that.
Why?
Because it again mirrors how I think both of us felt with the game.
Mm.
If we only ever got the first game,
Mm-hmm.
we'd be totally happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we only got this season, we're totally cool.
Yeah.
But the fact that, in my opinion, we got the second game, and in my opinion, it's one of the best games ever made. And the fact that we are getting a season 2,
yep.
I'm just overjoyed. We don't need it,
no.
But I'm happy we're getting it.
Well, I mean, now we technically do. And I think there are actual things that the show does a lot better than the game. And you could say the same for the game to the movie. So if you wanted to see more affected, you could go play the game and see more affected. But I think what this show does infinitely better than part 1, the game, is, again, show the character motivations, but more so outlining the reasons, the causes, the things for part 2, the rationales in part 2, just a sequel in itself. It justifies way more than part 1 did. And why characters are going to do certain things and go certain places, 110% makes so much sense in that the show highlights for season 2 to take. So yeah, this was phenomenal from top to bottom, from stem to stern. This was fantastic.
Hey, God of War show, don't fuck it up.
Listen, after I saw this and now knowing that Corey
is involved as well,
yeah, I think we're good. I think we are
same.
Absolutely fine. That said, everybody, that has been the Trophy Room Breaks Down The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 9. If you liked this and you are into PlayStation, you love the ecosystem, then yeah. Oh, Kyle, sorry, yeah. Hi. Have your hands up?
I enjoy doing this with you since we started this first season.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Why don't we do this more often? Let's go watch Uncharted and come back and do an episode on the Uncharted movie.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And do video game movies from here and then until season 2.
You know what? You got yourself a gosh darn deal. Does that mean I gotta watch Sonic 1 and 2?
That means I also would have to watch Sonic 1 and 2.
So maybe we pick and choose.
Yeah,
that said, that's been the Trophy Room Breaks Down The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 9. If you love PlayStation or love the ecosystem or just want to know more about it, make sure you follow our show, The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, where each and every Thursday, me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. My name's Joseph, a.k.a. Mr. Babbitt. That's my friend Kyle over at Mr. K-Step on Twitter. And you can follow the show over at PS Trophy Room. And if you're on Patreon, hey, what up? But if you aren't, go to patreon.com/PS Trophy Room and throw us a buck our way, because it really does help us out, makes the show better, and keeps the train going. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, endure and survive.
Love you.